Hi everybody, it's Sweetsa here at Emanate. So today I'm just going to share with you some notes I was writing on my little whiteboard because I thought that it could be beneficial in terms of thinking about your thinking. So enjoy. So in your family of origin, the family that you grew up in, if it was compromised, basically your caretakers didn't make room for you and your experiences and your feelings. So basically what happens is just you're not doing things just for yourself, and you can't have your own emotional experiences, which ultimately brings you down to developing a false sense of self. And that can be whatever you feel your family of origin makes okay. So it might be you get a false sense of self, or if people admire you in terms of success or looks or the relationships you have or achievement, caretaking, playing an instrument, a sport. But either way, right, that's the way you build muscle, is from doing these types of things. So you learn to do what's expected of you, which, right, admiration is not love. But what happens is sometimes the false sense of self gets disrupted, just for the sense of you might want more and you can't get more of, like, oh, you're doing great, or you get hurt, right, on a sport and you don't know where your identity is, or, you find someone who's better than you in terms of success, and that makes you restless or even sick, right? People get slowed down because of illness, which then can lead to depression. And depression being a sense of hopelessness, helplessness, and then ultimately at its root is a fear of losing love, especially if you were brought up in a family unit where that false sense of self was connected to something that you do. So a human doing versus a human being. But a lot of what we do is when we feel that depression or it seeps in, we try to go back to that false sense of self, and basically go back to our family of origin to keep getting, right, is this good enough? Or should, I'll just keep playing on my injuries so that I can achieve, and you keep going back to them. But the reality is they can't give you something that they don't have. So the work isn't actually to keep going back to people who can't give you what they originally didn't have themselves. It's actually to build your own house, where you can develop your true self and accept yourself fully. That means your own experiences and your own emotions, basically. So you have to create your own home. So I hope that helps. Until next time, emanate your best self.